Погнали. For now, I can. Oh, yeah.
I have just started watching the video, so I think we have like
15 seconds. That's not how my microphone works. Show systems elements.
должен пересмотреть, can you check?
Sure. I stay tuned. Это лучше.
Yeah, it's better.
It's better, but now
far away.
we see only one.
If we move it closer. It's lagging. It's kind of better, but it's still lagging. If we move it closer. Да.
Check this sound. Does this work at all?
Let's see.
Rough, 1, 2, 3. I don't hear any.
Check this sound. As before.
Kinda better.
Okay.
Let's see.
And it seems like it doesn't lag.
Better.
I don't hear any this sound.
If. Kinda better.
Okay.
Which one is it?
This one.
Okay. What did you do?
I changed like the type of audio capturing technology. For some reason, Aldo didn't work.
Okay.
Which one is it?
I'll move the camera. What did you do? So,
I changed the type of audio.
Молчу.
Okay, I think should be alright right now. If somebody's there, can you please check how does that sound? How does that sound? Yeah, guys, give us some feedback. I'm really sorry for this strange beginning. We were really trying to make sure our microphones are working. Yeah, please give us some information if the audio is fine, and if it's fine, then we begin.
Yes.
Yeah, with 10-minute delay. Yeah.
We're trying to make sure.
It seems
our
fine for me,
microphones
like.
are working. Yeah, please give us some information
do it.
if the audio is fine.
Okay. For you it's fine, then
Yep.
let's begin. So I think we should move the camera as well a little bit, but never mind. Okay.
Do it.
Do it.
Let's do everything as perfect as
A
possible.
little bit to the left, to you, to your
Okay.
side. Yeah, that's
Like this?
a little bit back.
Like this.
Perfect. Yes. Yes. I think it's just like it was before, but all right. So today and this week we are building the Shopware PWA frontend in React, and we are going to do it in a modular fashion, in the modular way. And we have recently released the manifest describing specificity, like what exactly are we going to do and what's our idea. So today I think we should start from explaining it a little bit deeper. I think going through the manifest might help us a little bit. And then I think we should switch to like explaining the basic folder structure, pointing out where we should install the repos and stuff. And yeah, who would like to begin?
Let me start.
Yeah,
So-
do you need an iPad for drawings?
I might. If I
Okay.
do, I ask you later.
Okay.
So, the main technology that will stand behind this project is Mosaic. It's basically the thing that we have been developing for quite some time already, and it contains all of the main Scandy PWA's features related to the development experience, such as parent themes and extensions, of course. The extension mechanism will allow us to split the application that we are going to build into independent modules, absolutely independent modules, which will contain their integrations right within the modules themselves. So that must enhance our development experience, and we are planning to develop several modules simultaneously, and even if they depend on each other, this modular fashion is going to help us achieve our goals. So, the technology stack itself will be quite familiar for us. Of course, we have chosen React to develop the theme just because it's the technology that we have been using for years, and it's the exact technology that Scandy PWA is written on. And regarding to the latest advancements in the front-end development world, we have decided to use Next.js just because using Next.js tends to produce better SEO evaluations and better Lighthouse results and overall performance measures results due to its server-side rendering manner. What else can I say? We are going to avoid the third-party libraries as much as possible just because always third-party libraries contain things that we do not use. And with these things, they expand our bundle size. Why do we need that? We are able to implement everything ourselves, and we believe that we will do that successfully. We have some solutions in mind, and you will see them in action later on. We are not going to use any state manager libraries just because we think that context will do the trick just fine. Of course, another drawback of using third-party libraries is that if one is going to build a theme based on our application later on, he should not just learn React or know React, he should also learn or know the technologies that we are going to use alongside it. And the less we use, the better. What else have I forgotten about? Of course, the principle itself and what exactly we're going to build. We are going to build a blank theme for Shopware backend technology. It's going to be a PWA storefront with Shopware backend. It's going to be blank without any CSS. Up to you how to style it. But it will contain all of the necessary logic, all of the basic interactions with the cart, with the account, authorization module, etc. You'll see later on. What else?
I think you should explain a bit more about this blank theme approach, because it's actually an abstraction for all upcoming implementations, because we're using the inheritance to theme our applications to extend their functionality, not extend the functionality, but rather change its appearance. So it's important for us to have something consistent which won't change so much. So basically the main goal of our blank theme is to provide the constant, or I would say stable, extension points that could be later used. And so when you're writing an extension, you're writing extension for this abstract base, which just works because you inherited this behavior, yeah, in your real application. Yeah, Alexander, you want to say something?
I just noticed a very important thing that we forgot.
Yeah.
Introduce ourselves.
Oh yes, correct. Good idea. So
Okay,
let's start with
I'll start. My name is Alexander. I work at Scandi PWA mainly as a backend front-end developer. I build technology called Create Magento app, for example. I worked at Scandi PWA team development, and
I think it's not an interview. You should rather tell how good of a person you are. Like, what do you like? I like dogs. My dog is right over there in the background.
I like cats.
You like cats? Okay.
Yes, I'm a cat man.
You're a cat man. That sounds good.
The war's gonna start.
Okay.
Should be enough about me.
You're also a beautiful person, Alexander. Yeah, and you have a surname Rifkins. And here's Yegor's.
Hi.
Tell me more about you.
I think we are familiar with quite a few of you. I am Yegors, or Yegor. Actually, in Latvia we put S letter to every male name, so that's why in passport I'm Yegors. Actually, my name is Yegor. I work at Team Scandi PWA for quite some time. I am maintaining Mosaic for quite some time. I'm the person behind the extension mechanism. If you were on Reacticon, you saw me demonstrate it in action, something like that. I like dogs and cats, but I'm allergic to both, so that's sad.
You said ducks? You like ducks? It's like
Dogs.
I thought this beautiful birds.
Dogs too, actually, but I'm not sure I'm
In this
allergic to
case,
them.
I like
So
geese and dogs. Can we call my dog Panda? Panda!
yeah, his dog's name is Panda.
Yeah, take a look at this beauty. Here we come. Oh, come here. Oh no, sorry, that's abuse, dog abuse, which we don't want to see. So this is my dog.
So sweet.
This is my dog. She's very big. Her face is bigger than mine. Actually, I don't know if you can see it, but She's like huge. She's helping us today. So yeah, today we are recording at my family home, but later we'll switch locations because we like to travel, and I think it's important to add some diversity to our streams because we will be working a lot, and I think the scenery should like make us a little bit happier about what we are doing. So yeah, is that it about the technology? Let's quickly consult the manifest. So let me switch to my computer. Here we go, and let's go to my Twitter maybe and follow the link to my manifest, which I posted recently. And let's quickly check if we explained everything about it. Maybe chat has some questions about like manifest. Yeah, hey, everyone. If you have some questions, feel free to ask in chat. So about our goals, our architecture, yeah, I think it's now time maybe to speak a little bit about how we are going to approach the implementation. As Yegor said, we are building it in modules, but it's important to define which modules are we going to build this application in. So I think that could be a time for us to switch to beautiful drawings on, beautiful drawings that we could do, and drew a little bit of our architecture. Who is willing to volunteer on the drawing part and explaining the first part? Maybe I should. Maybe you guys want to.
If we have some notes on that,
It's what we drew back there in the office once we originally planned the implementation.
Oh,
Let's see. I need some reference and then.
Okay, let me then switch to my iPod screen, and I think I should start. The black screen shouldn't be there, so let me just quickly fix that issue. Hopefully it will work as a chart. So, let me get back to my iPad screen. Not yet there. That's sad, actually. It's actually sad. You would like
Draw?
we can draw, but I think we need to fix the iPad problems first. Yeah, the iPad is the only guy who is not has the microphone at the beginning of the studio. The guys who are standing against us today. But I hope it will resolve itself. We have a fallback. Oh, it's working. Yeah, it's working. Awesome. So what should we start with? So this application is basically modular. So this could actually mean that consider we don't have a monolith. This means that
maybe we can add the camera here.
maybe we can add the camera here. Let's do it. I can add existing. Yeah, sure. Let's add scale.
On that. Oh, yeah.
Is the sound okay or it's bad? This one better? Can you check the sound as well? It started when you switched to the laptop screen. Okay, maybe it's not better. No, it's not better. Maybe I should stop stream and get back for a second. Okay, could be resolved now because this seems better, at least on the like audio graph. Okay.
Yes.
Could
yes,
be.
yes.
Okay, so possibly we would need to like
seems
switch
better.
back and forth
have an idea for this.
and disable enable streams. That's strange. I'm first time streaming from Linux, and this yeah, this is not a pleasant experience. Maybe using my Mac and this should be switched. Yeah, sorry. Back to my iPad screen, which is again not working. Yes. Oh, that's stupid. that's like very bad.
Well, we learn from our mistakes, so the next one
Yeah.
will be
Oh,
better.
it's working. It's still working. Wow. Wait. It's doing some stuff. Actually, today we're streaming all like wireless. We don't have any cable. And this could be a big reason for most of our problems. But that's not sure. I'm not sure. So again, what I wanted to explain is that basically we have this. That's like
Oh.
very bad.
Sometimes
It's like-
lags apparently.
Oh, it's working.
So now it's better, but it used to be bad.
Yeah.
Okay, let's proceed.
It's bad.
Can
bad
you-
again?
Bad again?
I can hear it. Yeah.
How this works? But this is stupid. This is just.
Now it's
stupid.
okay.
So
Wait.
yeah, what I wanted to explain is that basically
Yeah. Now it's
we
okay.
have this.
So you consider this okay?
I can hear stream on my phone.
Sometimes lags apparently.
See?
Okay, so now,
Now
it's
it's
better.
okay.
So now
Maybe
better.
it's between switching. It's lagging. I think so because
I switched again, so it will lag now. No way! Well, how it works just.
Wait a sec. It's a bit.
This is stupid.
I'm waiting for this moment. And
Maybe it lags first and then.
no, it's
stops.
okay.
It's okay now?
So you consider this okay?
Okay. Hopefully it's okay now. I think we shouldn't switch scenes too often. And at least wait some time between switches. Maybe this computer is not so powerful. No idea. Yeah, is it working okay now? Should be. So okay, let's draw some logic here. And maybe what you guys should do is not to waste time. Let me first commit you a thing that you should fix ESLint in, basically. And do the stuff, fix the ESLint there, and
Okay.
make sure it's working. So we will have to fix some namespaces there. Okay?
Okay.
So let me first do that, but I won't switch screens because you know what happens when we switch screens. This is very bad things. But can you commit from my computer? Can you create a new repository in Scandi PWA, name it like Shopware PWA,
Okay.
and go ahead and commit this repository? And while we will be doing this, I will explain our architecture a little bit. So we want to have like multiple modules, and we all know what the big elephant in the room is. So we'll start with CMS module, and the CMS module it's a big thing. So it's like the biggest of them all, and it kind of blocks multiple modules. Like it blocks category at some point. Yeah, it blocks us products at some point. Yeah, and it also might. What happens? This guy lags now.
Yeah.
We're lagging all around. So basically our idea is to first implement the CMS, and then once we got it, or
be
once
enough.
we not got it,
License.
implement category and the product. And also we have this authentication thingy, which is basically a token retrieval, I believe. So Yegor's will handle this part. We also have this interesting thing called virtual UI, which we have specified in our manifest. That's what Alexander is known for, so he might do this part. And also we have a customer here and the checkout. So I think we'll do like these. It's maybe a bad approach. How to delete here? Maybe I can do like this, and then I can delete it. I don't know
You
how
need
to delete.
undo or what?
I have no idea how to. Ah, I know how to undo. Yeah, cool. So I'll increase my size. Yeah, cool.
If
Cool.
it's
Cool.
Procreate, you may double tap. It will undo.
Oh, really?
Like
Okay.
this.
Okay. So after we do auth, we can build cart, and I think we can build checkout, and I think then we can also do a customer. But that might look like that might not look like much. However, for we have like a plan. Can we get like a picture of that?
A picture of that. Of
Can you
what?
can you get me a picture of what we like discussed recently? Because for CMS, it's kind of we
This
have,
one?
Yeah. Can I get this picture? So we have prepared a little bit, and we drew some pictures around. So our flow for CMS will be as follows. So our implementation, what will the CMS module contain? It will contain everything about like the CMS entity. So it will have the request logic. So request to API. Yeah. What else should it do? It should also have a processor. Processor for data, basically, because it returns this sections, I believe blocks and elements, and I think we should process them in. We should process them to like valid React tree. And what else should we do here? We should, I believe. We should also here define some entry points for our context, most probably. So later we can render the context and get elements from it. I think that's pretty much that's pretty much the everything planned. Oh, also I think we can add like layouts here, because CMS blocks, there are a lot of like CMS sections, blocks, and elements, and I think we should contain all of our layouts in this module. For category, it's a little bit more, I would say, straightforward, because, well, for category, we again are keeping request, so we'll store a request, and what else we'll do, we'll store we'll store the layout for like the category, so we can later use it. Guys, I'm seeing blank screen. Oh my god.
It's okay now.
No, it's not okay, because the capture wasn't working, and I was like speaking, and everybody was like, "Oh, beautiful white screen, guys.
Ah.
Beautiful white screen." And you guys didn't warn me. Thank you.
I'm
Thank
not
you,
looking
chat.
at it.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Can we check this? Is it working?
What is the
NDA capture.
That's bad.
I like how bad the experience is today. Like, absolutely worst one.
Horrifying, yes.
What they are writing is not shown. Yes, that's correct, and I have no idea why is this happening and why this NDA capture doesn't let me do it. No, this is very bad. And again, the capture is not going anywhere, and I not really want to reload like everything. Maybe I should just switch it to Yegor's screen and then back to the. What is now strange things happen. Very strange. How should we approach this better? How can we do it? We can go back to whiteboard. No
We
problem.
can go back to whiteboard.
Yeah, I think we should go back to whiteboard, because
But where will we do that?
technology is nice, but it seems like the technology is not as nice as we expected.
I think we should make the iPad work later, maybe for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do we do?
Get this
We
board.
can set it
Audio
on the
is lagging
bench,
a bit, yeah.
turn the camera to it while you are on it.
Lagging a bit still, yeah?
Yeah. Audio.
Not again.
Какой мовчик. Shit. Oof. Oh, it's okay now.
Okay, come here. Let's get this. Let's get this down here. I think it's all right. We can move the icon
How?
if we need it.
We can set this on the bench, and while you're explaining something on the board, you film yourself on the bench, and then we
Yeah,
go
that
back
works.
to
That works. That works. Sure. Let's try it out. So,
That'll be clear.
huh? I think we might also want to have the mic there as well, but still.
Yeah.
Hopeful this won't break at all. It's very like
It doesn't
screen
fit.
today.
But we can do this.
Yes, it works just fine. It works just fine.
Be careful not to drop it.
Would be funny. How's the sound, Alexander?
It's okay now.
It's okay now. Okay. So. I should be quicker now because we like. Do you guys doing the repository stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So the big thing here is that is it fine? Like, can you take a look?
Yeah. Sure.
And can you take a look if we're streaming like the correct scene? Because if we're not streaming,
yes.
the
Fine,
correct
but your head is not visible. I'll just.
it's okay. So
I'll adjust it a little bit.
so I think we should go like this. We have like a big CMS module, and this big CMS module should do multiple things. It should like request CMS data. It should request CMS data. Number two, it should process the JSON response to like valid React components to React basically. It should handle all like the blocks, elements, and sections, I believe. So here we should also have layouts basically, or React component implementations for sections, blocks, and links. Section, blocks, and elements, I believe. Yeah. And what this is basically like the whole CMS, and we will add some entry points here for extension. For example, we'll make sure that you can add sections, section types. Yeah, you can add block type. This is all like the extension points. Block type. You can add an element type, and those are pretty much the extension points we want, and we want to make sure you can add them both in like runtime and so okay, this is basically our CMS. And what blocks like could we have in like CMS? In CMS we might have like product listing, or we could have like filters. So in order to like have them, those listings and filters, we should have other modules, smaller ones. So let's consider category here. So I have this category module, and this category module, it should also have some information on how to request category, and it should also have probably the layout for a category, the layout of category. And if we are considering styling, what's important to keep in mind is that in our themes we want elements to be positioned like anywhere. So how can we eliminate the need to pass props from parent component to child component every time, and also potentially keep the state updated and synchronized across all of these components? Well, the answer is use the context. So let's use the context API for displaying entity in our layout. So number 3 for category, we should have some context. For a category. And I think that's it pretty much. So the category, when it's rendered, it should do something like this. It should render a context, and it should render the category itself, like the category layout, and it should render everything that's like added to it. So we should add some extension points here, and in this case it will be add add, I would say, elements to category page, basically anywhere. It's like whatever to category page. And another thing we would like to do is to modify the context, because at some point we would like to have, for example, like what type of listing would you prefer? Yeah, or it's not a category state, but maybe like you would have image preview or whatever. You would like to keep something in the context of each category. So we should make it possible to extend the context of category. So basically add fields to context. This is pretty much the category itself. And now we can come to the first integration. Let me synchronize with chat. Maybe you have some. Yeah, it's still fine. Okay, and then like to join these two together, like category and CMS, we should also do a thingy here. And let's draw it like over them, basically. And I think what we should also get is like thing to remove part. Cool. And here, let's call this piece. A CMS category. And what this module will do, it will be responsible for the integration of our category to our large CMS module. So I think it should register a block or a section. Not sure. We will handle this, but basically, it should register. Let's do it like dots because it's not in any sequence. So it should register a section, I believe. And what it should also do, it should retrieve data from CMS. So I think what it should do, yeah, it should basically take this CMS data that we requested, should retrieve some category ID from it, and then it should register a section that would render us this beauty here, and it should make a request somewhere, yeah, and it should take this response of this request and basically put this response to the context of category, and by this make the category pretty much available in and accessible in the CMS. Yeah, the wind is here. Hopefully it's not so loud on the recording. So this is like a plan for a category. It goes alongside this for pretty much everything. So we have like products here. So let's consider products. And the products pretty much do the same. They have some logic to request category, to request product, and product single one, and maybe a list. For a list of products, like Shopware has an entry point, an endpoint to request category products. So possibly we will have no request of a product list, just a request of a single product. That's not defined yet. Let's just say we have this request product here, and another thing we should have is like product list display, product list. Let's list, view, and preview layouts. What do I mean by this? I mean we have to have a layout of product list, which we could be able to insert information into, and we should have a product cards and product pages, basically, that we could add data in. And again, they should be extensible, so it should be possible to add your own sections to these pages. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for the products, except we also need a context, because again, we want to position elements in whatever place and maybe add some state. For example, like if you have a configurable product, we should be able to see which variants we have selected, or yeah, something along those lines. So context of a product. And again, the theory here is just the same. So we have this context, which is wrapping the whole layout around, and basically then we draw a layout which has some extension points, which other extensions add data to, which gets rendered and pretty much beautifully displayed. So again, we have these standalone products which we'll do and we will build, and then we'll connect them to our product list, and potentially later on we might do the same for filterings, for other stuff, but overall we build standalone modules, then we connect them together, and we pretty much celebrate at this stage because like, hey, we connected them. Is that clear? I think that's clear. Do you guys have any questions regarding that? If yes, if no, go. Okay, overlaying the stream while working in Scandinavia. Cool. Okay, okay. So basically, we see this part, and those are our modules. We'll have like category, product, CMS. We'll also have at some point, like here, we'll have AUF. At some point we'll have customer. At some point we'll have cart. At some point we'll have a checkout. For each of those we have some plans on how we want to arrange our APIs, but still for now it's let's consider it to be a black box, and the guys will explain this parts later on while implementing it. So we can, I think, stop for now speaking about like this theory of like of our modules that we'll create, and I hope this is like clear. You can get back to this part of video and ask any questions you have, and if we don't have any other questions, I think we should just switch to the structure, like how we will be arranging it. Because you see, these modules, they have quite a lot of repeating patterns here. They hold a request, they hold some layouts, and also they hold some context. And that's pretty much it. And some of them might also have some integrations in mind right away. So we should keep this somehow organized. And I think what we'll use to organize it better is basically the the file structure, and the file structure. So how are we going to approach it? Let's see. Let me remove, for example, for now this part. I hope it will be easy to remove, and it kind of is. Cool. A little bit dirty, but not so bad. So let's talk a little bit about the file structure. So basically we have those modules, and those modules are npm packages. So they are npm packages. Package. Oh no, we should let it dry first, because otherwise we won't be able to write on it. Because of this, I think we should switch to this side first and explain it a little bit here. So we have those npm packages, and those npm packages, if we consider them like simply laying around in your file system, it won't like work. We need to link them together somehow. So the best way to do it is to use some package manager like Lerna, mono repo manager. So we use Lerna to manage our packages. This immediately means that we should have some root repository. Let's draw it like so, which will have some private package. So let's say this has a package JSON, package .json, and what also it will have? It will have like the source folder, the packages folder, which will contain all the packages. So this is basically the whole top level repository that we'll have, and in this packages folder we'll have other guys sitting. We'll keep our npm packages here, and because we are kind of building under the single namespace, under the singular organization at Scandi PWA, we'll not create any subdirectories here. We'll just create folders right away, so it will be a nesting of one. And basically we'll keep our modules here. What modules we might keep here? For example, the framework module, for example the layout, for example the CMS, and the list goes on and on and on. So basically we keep all our modules here. And while we're doing it, let me ask guys, how is it going? You migrated the repo from my computer? You're fixing it to work?
We have fixed the SLN, we have installed Mosaic, and have launched it, it works. So we're basically good to go with development.
Okay. So you should be able to, if you inspect the elements now, you should be able to see like header and footer rendered. Can you check?
We don't have a page registered. It's an
Um,
project.
It should be because you have _up, and
Where?
if you're not seeing like header and footer, most probably you're registering. Check the plugins because of the namespace change with the ESLint, the registrations should have been changed. Okay, I'll check the questions section. Maybe we have some. No. Okay. So the framework, layout, and CMS. What we do here. So our frame or any of our modules, basically, they might have a following structure. Any of our modules, let's draw it like this, will also have the. Now I think it's bad to write with the blue one here, so let me do a black one. So it have any module. This is like any module in packages. It will have a package.json. That's a normal npm thingy describing what's inside. And then we'll also do an src folder because we like to organize our resources like this, so like source folder. And under the source folder we'll have multiple folders. So the first one will be the API folder. So this API folder might contain multiple files, and to distinguish between those files we would like to use the postfix notation. And this is basically an approach for file names, and this allows you to easily distinguish them one from another. So we'd like to have here .request files with the API request logic. We might have here .type files. .type files might contain some prop types definition or even TypeScript definitions if we decide to use them. And what else do these guys commonly contain? For now on, to begin with, that should be all right. Potentially they can also have some processors, but let's skip this for now. So API goes like this. What else do we have? We have some components. So what are components? Components are basically our layouts. So if we remember what we drew here, we had some layouts defined for each of our modules which we wanted to create, and components is the folder that will contain them. And here we have a little bit different structure. So we have here a number of different modules, different components, like a component A, then we have maybe a component B, and those are all folders, yeah? And each folder might have multiple files in it. So again, we're also using this postfix notation to distinguish between them. And the biggest difference between them is that we have .component here. It's the file that contains rendering or the presentation layer, and we have .container here. And .container here, container might contain some business logic for us to, for example, connect to context or whatever. Basically, components should contain only render methods, and that's it. Only render. Okay, API components, and then we also have a context folder here. So the context folder here will keep everything related to our context. And basically we need the definition of React context, which can be created with react.createContext, and we'll keep these files in context, in .context files, and they will be .context.js basically, and they will keep definition of a context that you could import and reference. And another thing we'll keep here is provider. So what's provider? Provider is basically a component that renders or what provides the context initially. And if we want our context to have some state, we should put the state or implement the state in our provider. So basically, for a context extension, or for if you want to add some fields to the context, or if you want to add some state or dynamic change to your context, you should do it in provider. And that's pretty much it for the file structure. Those are like all the files we will need, basically. Oh, except one more. Here in components, we could also have a .config file. So what's .config file? The .config file is actually a very small file containing just constants, but it's required because it allows us to, first of all, decrease the bundle size, and second of all, add something to reference between our application, which will be very useful later on when doing themes. And .config actually just moving constants away from the big modules saves a lot of space in the final bundles. And because we love to optimize bundles, we basically should have the separate files for reusable constants. Hope this makes sense. Let me see if you guys have some questions. If we don't, possibly we should continue. Maybe we should zoom a little bit to this blackboard. Potentially, we had this opportunity all the time, but we kind of didn't. Yeah. So this is basically our plan for file structure. So we discussed our module structure. We discussed our file structure. Do we have anything else to discuss? Not yet. Maybe later. Maybe later. Sure. So I think if so, it could be the time to switch back to the guys. Take a look at those beauties. Now sunshine is shining, and and yeah. So what could you update us on? Something changed, I believe.
Well, we have initialized the project, and now I'm investigating why don't the plugins work. So basically, we have the pages, they are registered properly, but somehow they're not populated, and I'm investigating this.
It should be working. I'm like, I did that like multiple thousands of times. Can you guys, did you committed it? You committed it? Can I pull?
Yes.
Okay, and if you committed it, I think we should go ahead and update some links in our like repo, because most likely.
There's one more thing to commit.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go then and possibly share that. And I think I should start also sharing my screen here. It's under scan DPWA. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now, can you prepare your ears? Can you prepare your ears? Can we try that? 1 second. NDI. So you're ready, Alexander. Can I switch?
Of course.
Okay. I'm here. Can you say me how it sounds? Can you tell me?
Let's wait for the log.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit laggy, but
Still laggy?
you know, I'm hearing the stream from and with a delay.
That's does it sound like okay?
No laggy, but fine now. Interesting.
It works when you say it works.
Yes.
Okay, so we just created a repository here. It's Shopware PWA, and guys have committed some stuff in it. And most probably what we should do is go ahead and quickly erase everything. Can you guys remove everything from README, because we'll need some other information in it. And can I pull? Yeah, I think I can pull. And
I have deleted README. I can pull once again in a sec.
Okay, I'll pull.
Yeah, now.
So this is our file structure, and this is our what we'll start with. Basically, it's a blank theme, as you can see, and has nothing in it. What is extend config.json? Do we need it? Can we delete it?
It appears when you launch the Mosaic project.
Okay.
It's for like just config JSON.
It's needed. Yeah, it's auto-generated. Okay. Okay. So blank theme basically has nothing, no files in it, no nothing, and that actually means it's a blank theme. It's an abstraction with no implementation, no layers of inheritance yet. And what else we have here is a framework module. This is what I will like to focus more a little bit down the line. And we also have this layout here, and the layout is basically the header, footer, and footer rendered, and maybe main as well. So we can put elements there and worry not. This is like a big thing. And I'm just installing dependencies here. And as far as I remember, what we also should have here is if we go to packages blank theme, we should be able to run it with yarn dev because it's a Next.js project. And while we're doing it and waiting for it to compile, can I ask you guys, so are you ready to start? Or you would like me to get you some brief introduction into framework and how it all works internally?
For now, I'm more interested in figuring out why
Okay.
don't the things that should work work.
So let
And
me
then we
open
can do
this up,
that.
and we can see that this page is not yet implemented, so we have successfully declared the underscore up in package.json, and it just requires us to extend it. And guys say something is not working, so implementation for this page should be located in app.page.plugin.js, and for some reason the application is not recognizing this plugin, and I think Yegors will figure it out at some point. So while he's doing it, maybe we should switch back and go briefly across the framework module, because this is what we'll be referring pretty commonly. So can I check 1 second? I'll check for the guys. Maybe we have some extensions not enabled yet. Still, so what is inside of our framework? The framework contains basically utilities and a single component, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
So it contains an app component. That's basically the representation of underscore app in Next.js. And here it looks like this. And I'll tell you more about these context providers, but what you will see immediately is that basically we're using class components. And we're using class components because they provide the best extensibility and modularity, because you can reference them, you can inherit from them, and you can modify just single pieces of this whole class and keep other pieces. And this is what will allow you to stay up to date with ease. So this is what actually solves the complexity of maintenance. And for us, it's very important. And basically, all classes have this render method. And in render method, we provide the logic which should generate us the final look of the app. And in this case, it just calls this render context providers, and it takes this strange sorted map, and it basically renders it. Yeah. So it's as simple as that. But what is the sorted map? Maybe I should also add myself to the stream. Maybe just looking at my screen is not so interesting. Maybe we should add a camera. What do you think? Or it will again
You
lag
can.
as crazy.
We
It's
can.
already lagging as crazy, so
It's lagging.
it's one and it's lagging now at the same time.
So we should do something about it, right? Can we do something about
Thinking is it lagging? We can exit and that solves issues in most cases. This means we should basically exit. We'll lose a stream for a quick moment. It should work right now. At least it worked like this previously. We shouldn't have any lag now. Can you check?
Yeah. And probably the lag has been reduced, as I can hear.
Maybe we should check because I remember somebody was telling me that basically there is some. No, I'm using the hardware encoder, which is kind of considered to be okay.
No, it's still laggy. 1 second it is laggy, second it is not. So
Live chat, could you tell us how laggy it is? Is it
strange behavior.
normal to watch or is like very bad in terms of like quality? Live chat is not responding. We're like on the dead summary.
We lost everyone.
Going down.
It's 13 people still.
Mm-hmm.
13. It was 18.
It was 20 at some point when I was looking.
Yeah.
So, but really, is the sound like so bad? Can I hear?
Sure.
Yeah, it's bad. It's like real bad. Maybe we should decrease like the quality of our stream potentially, or maybe increase it the opposite way. I'll stop the stream.
Солнце будет проблема.
Мы можем передвинуться, если что, не проблема. Можем беседку, если надо. Okay. Can you tell me how is it now? I switched to like software acceleration instead of hardware acceleration.
Still laggy.
How does it work? How does it work?
Please, guys, let us stream this.
Yeah.
Very
Really.
important.
Why it's so laggy? I don't understand. Maybe you guys have some recommendations on how can we try fixing it? Sample rate for audio. Maybe we should switch to mono instead of stereo. I don't know. Maybe it's possible here. Maybe we should try it like so.
It's no. 1 second it works, the second it doesn't.
I don't think changing like modes could help at any point. I would also like to check if this computer actually has. I think it has some microphones. Maybe we could switch to this internal microphone potentially. Can I get your headphone, please? I would like to. So we should be back, and I'm so hopeful. The sound lag is crazy. I have no idea why that's so. And I think, well, yeah, I should start hearing myself. We can do it differently. I can stop like, streaming for a few moments and try switching to a different computer, and potentially this could solve the issue entirely. Let me just try that. So, like, stay tuned. Like 5, I don't know how many. So we should be back. And hopefully it will be fine forever. Okay. Okay. Can we check it out?
Вот эта штука, значит, она должна отрабатываться. Мы импортируем компонент отсюда.
I can see myself.
It's still laggy, послушай. Built-in microphone to summer. This is the built-in microphone. Can you check it out? This microphone is built in, and it's not Yeti currently recording.
Oh,
Very
it's,
bad.
it's much louder, yeah, but
I have decreased the sound a bit.
yeah. I think into some filtering or something.
Okay, let's add filtering, no problem.
Ideally, will be to install FTX voice, but we don't have a Windows PC in there.
I'll add the no suppression. Hopefully it will at least work at some point.
First day, first problems.
Ничего, нормально.
Yeah.
Идет, но очень... The stream is going, but the quality is like very bad. I can hear so much like glitter. And this Yeti mic, is it like broken forever? What's going on? Okay, this is Yeti. And what's up with Yeti?
should be able to hear like at least something. Great sound with your built-in mic. Great sound with my built-in mic. Okay.
And this is like, and with this guy I can hear like nothing as far as I remember. I can't hear anything. It's not working. Can you like restart it? No, it's laggy. It's very laggy. It's very laggy. It's impossible to hear. So it will go for built-in mic. Okay. Okay. Okay, and I'll decrease the sound a little bit, and hopefully it will connect. Can we check it?
Waiting for the delay.
Yeah, waiting for the delay, it's true. We kind of... Yeah, it's so bad. With sound. I can't hear anything. Is this like a YouTube problem? Is this like my problem? No. Давайте я попробую вообще все подвинуть.
Так, у нас проблема, у нас не работает звук нормально. У нас есть видео неплохое. У нас проблема.
I would like to go and see the preview. I would like to go to see the preview of our stream. I went to like different room.
Теперь всегда есть слот. Он сегодня стримит нормально. Я сдаю. Здесь, ну давай.
How bad is audio?
Even though there is sound, it's like
Really? The audio should have appeared like recently.
that video is just fine.
How this could be built-in microphone. But you don't hear me at all?
I hear you, but it's restringing.
So it's laggy as hell, and okay,
I can hear you, but it's like, yeah.
we should make some decision right now because this is like an acceptable thing. It's like going.
Now it's better.
Yeah, but I don't know about the sound quality yet. Like, what should we do?
Well, nothing so far. Sounds okay.
Sounds okay.
Yes, it sounds okay.
We lost everyone, and I'm not sure if like this will ever like
Yeah, they'll return.
they'll return. Okay. Let me check if our stream is.
But now I also hear a wind. That's interesting.
But you now also hear the wind. Maybe that's because the wind started to blow. Maybe we should get inside.
Yeah, probably because the sun also starts to annoy me.
Okay, let's
And
get
my
inside
computer.
because we still we like lost almost
But
everyone.
sounds okay now. Yeah.
But at least the sound is okay. That's a part of like big deal. At least we are like chord free, so we can simply do it like so, and still we'll still work. We'll get inside. That's possible here too.
Get inside, not to be dead inside. Sound is very good now.
Может, в офис на крыше, там зонтики?
Но он это не сегодня, не завтра. Я понимаю, что интернет это очень важная штука.
Мне кажется, нашел проблему в мозаике. Но она очень странная. И она там с самого начала. Я не понимаю, как это может не работать у меня, если она работала у тебя на свете. Там проблема была в том, что плugины не импортились, не инжектились в порт. Потому что был неправильный регис. А я этот регис вообще не трогаю. Ты как его написал в изначальном конфиге, так он и есть. Он же работал, я такой был охуеть. Квадратных скобках была capture группа, где был
The most advanced part of this operation is retrieving the microphone and the computer, and we should never ever touch it again. The computer is getting hot. Nice. It seems like increasing the kilobytes per second solves the issue. It seems like it solves the issue, because currently it's streaming like on 1,000 kilobits more.
Там подвинуть, наверное, как-нибудь.
You mean I'll sit here, I think. Yes. Yes, I think we fixed the sound. I think we fixed the sound, and we also migrated from the outdoor spot to indoor spot because it seems like the internet connectivity is better here. And we'll start with. Okay. How hopeful I am. This won't repeat anymore.
I'm commonly known as the man who burns first in the summer and in the spring, so I have managed already to do so.
Oh yeah, you have a red face already.
My cheek has burnt in like half an hour on the sun.
Yes, that's wow.
And it always looks exclusively stupid. Like, last summer I have managed to burn half of my like face, the lower half, and the upper half was fine. And now I have burnt my right cheek. Only the right one.
Interesting. Will it stay? It even might stay here. Okay.
They still can't see
What?
Everyone's fine.
Too many calls. Too many calls. We can't accept calls. I think I should place do not disturb on my phone. I don't know how you will reach me. Okay. I think now the sound problem is basically fixed. I hope so. Alexander, can you confirm me?
Yes.
The sound problem is finally fixed after like all these nasty days. And I think we can. The audio is fixed, but now the iPhone has disconnected from the network. Yes! Because calls. And the camera says it's still connected. What about my computer?
Do we have any viewers left?
Yes.
Very good.
Nice.
How much? How many?
Not so many.
Basically, the thing that has proven working multiple times has rejected me this time, and I have fixed it so that I may publish it now, and we may proceed to work further.
Okay. Alexander? Sound?
Sound is
No, way. It should be fine. It's like
Should see the graph.
no, I see like the kilobits per second. My but this is total stream bitrate, I think. But is the sound better now? You could have just said yes. Oh my god. So? I don't hear anything, Alexander. No.
Maybe it's too much for this computer to handle one stream from this PC, another from this one, another from the smartphone,
Could very well
another from the microphone.
very well be. Okay, and let's just delay potentially. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is another test. Hopefully now without lights. Okay, maybe that's the problem with network bandwidth. Can you stop your stream as well? Let's just can you also stop your stream if you haven't already stopped? Is the sound better now? From what I hear, it's better.
Let me get the second earphone.
Yes, it is better. Maybe that's just the stupid OBS Studio which I have to quit time to time. No idea. I have no idea. That's very, very sad.
Yeah, sounds better.
Okay. So, did you commit the fix? Can we continue? Yeah?
I'll set it up in the project now. I have
Mhm.
published the new version of Mosaic.
Guys, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm really sorry for this awful sound situation today. We'll definitely fix it till tomorrow, and I think we'll start doing something today, but maybe we'll go over everything we did tomorrow again, just to make sure that we are up to a good start, because this is like not a good start from my perspective. False start. Yeah, good point. Okay. I think I can do following. I think I can go ahead to my NDI new tech converter. I'll create another theme. It's two screens. Sorry. Audio capturing device. Boom, the sound should be back now. It's so nerve-wracking. Yeah, we almost streamed for 2 hours. I think we got to explain. The first hour was alright with bad sound. Maybe we should just start over. We don't have the repos. I will just.
We have the roster, we kind of have the sound as far as I'm concerned, right?
Alexander is our sound manager.
Is the sound okay?
Not okay.
Audio not okay? I hate.
What do you
Video
think
is
happens?
okay.
What do you think happens?
Uh,
Broken mic?
I think
All of
it's
us?
because of the computer, because basically it starts to lag after some point. Then I kind of restart
Maybe
the
the
studio.
buffer is full. Somewhat.
No idea.
Do you have any other laptop here that we can use?
I took this one specifically so we can stream on it and just give it
Alright. So-
like.
I can
On
give
an
my
ideal world.
laptop for this. I can try.
We can try.
Yeah, we
For
can
the
also
future
try and
streams,
do
we
that.
can use your MacBook that's left in the office.
That's not.
But is the
Yeah.
sound better now or still not okay?
It's quiet.
Stream is-
It's okay now.
The sound is okay. Okay, let's just monitor the sound. Maybe you can give one thing to me if you want. So I can also say, but I think that might disturb me very much while speaking. Yes.
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 but
Okay,
you
well,
hear
fair enough.
yourself. I can hear everyone.
Okay. Then we don't need it. So again, let's take a look on the framework, and if anybody is on the point, let's just continue. So the framework here, it basically does. You commit it. I can pull. I
Yep.
will pull,
Yep.
and let's just run the packages blank theme. Let's run the application, and let's take a look what it currently does. Wait a sec. What happened? I accidentally stopped it. So let's open this page up. We shouldn't see like anything crazy there.
It's 404.
I can see like the page is not implemented.
No, that's what I fixed.
Maybe I should
Reinstall the
yeah, I
dependencies
should
that they-
reinstall dependency. Sure. Yarn.
You'll see 404.
Okay, that's expected, I believe.
I hope so.
I'm not sure. Let's see.
Let's see.
So I'm installing dependencies, and for now let's go briefly around the framework. So framework has utilities. It has this browser database, which is a simple wrapper around the local storage, just an abstraction over it, so you can add your functionality and extend it. We have this client, which is like a very simple REST API, just any any API client. And it has some request method, which is basically a fetch that always does JSON fetches, and it supports, I believe, gets and posts. And it has a public post and get method, which which just do their stuff. We will use this client, but basically pretty much all we need. We also have this context, and this context allows us to basically call or combine multiple contexts together. We have this high order components. That's what I'll talk a little bit later on. This is basically the higher order component and the thing that we'll use in our .container files. And we have this with high order component that is also a high order component, which you can call, and it wraps the high order component. It wraps the component with the high order component. We'll see it used later on. And the sorted map is another interesting thing, and this is basically a JavaScript map that allows you to insert values by key and onto the some position. And once you insert a key on some position, that basically allows you to then get it as a list in a proper place, or it can allow you to get each element of this list by the key. So it's a map and a list at the same time. And it's commonly used in the application. So we should have been started. I'll remove this from the doc. And we should have started our local host, and we see the 404, which is hopefully inspected. And what we can also see is this header, main, and the footer. And this is interesting because basically this is coming from our layout module, which we haven't spoken before. And it's also coming from this app component. So what we did is we allowed to declare dynamic pages through adding them into this mosaic block in package.json. And you can see here there is a next pages underscore app that's basically a wrapper of our application. And it has the declaration in this plugin, app page plugin, that provides implementation for this page. So if we disable this plugin, we can reload this page and it will tell us to implement the pages underscore app page, and that's what we did. So here we can see the simplest example of our plugin mechanism, and it works as follows. You have a namespace which you proxy, and you basically write a proxy for this specific namespace, and the type of proxy is defined by this function, number, method, class, etc. So here we can see we have like the namespace of pages underscore app, and it's of type function, and we provide an implementation for it. And once we reload, yeah, it works. We can see it works. Trust me, it works. But we can see this header and footer, where it's declared. Well, if we check the app component, it's definitely not here, because here we see some list of context providers which say nothing about the footer. So where is the footer coming from? How it works? Well, the footer is coming from this layout component. And this layout component is enabled in our application, and it's the dependency of ours. And if we take a look on what it does, it basically provides us the layout plugin. And by the way, all .plugin files from plugin folder are automatically registered. And just a quick moment for you guys. What are you guys doing?
I'm investigating the auth. I'm starting.
Okay, sure. Can you create some environment files or whatever to keep the store key and store to keep the store URL and store key for our demo store? Can you make sure
so that the API endpoint is consistent?
Yeah. Or maybe modify the client from framework so it can accept some values or read from it. Yeah. So just prepare to make some requests. So while we're start, and Alexander, what you're doing, you're also just watching the stream. Yeah, okay, so cool. And now we have this layout plugin, and this layout plugin declares the plugin for this namespace, and this namespace is the app component here. So we can see that this app component has a plugin for it. Where was the plugin? Here. And it declares it for a member property, and member property is basically a property of class. And in our case, for app component, it uses the context providers property, and we can see it here, context providers, and it adds the function called render layout. And you can see it uses the position of -1, so it ensures it's the topmost element, or no, it's not topmost. It's it's downmost, because here the bigger is position, the higher the element will be in a tree. So yeah, it means that every element will be rendered in this layout. We can see it better, I think, if we'll install the if we'll open this page in Chrome browser. Let me do it in a second. I'll choose my work account, and if I go to localhost and I inspect the element, can you open this for me? Yeah, I should be able to see here in React components that our layout component is at the very top of our app component. But if we'll add additional providers into this list of members, the layout will always be the last one. Okay, so how does the layout works? Well, the layout component works as follows. So it takes the children and it renders the children in the main element. So all children are rendered in main. Let me see where it is. Oh, here, sorry. Yeah, so this 404 page from Next.js is rendered in the main page. And header and footer, those are empty for now. And those are just rendered side by side with the, you can see here, it basically renders header, then main, then footer. For the main, it takes the children, it renders them. For the header and footer, it renders header and footer components. And those are simple layouts with these sorted render maps. And these sorted render maps are very useful again, because they allow us to position elements by some value, by some position, and also by the key. So later on, when this object will be filled in, there could be like hello world. And in our theme, we could get the hello, so we could get the world by the hello key. This would allow us to position elements at any place we want, so we won't need to render them as a list. So instead of doing it like so, we would be able to simply get a sorted map from it and then use the values of this map. Okay, for now the header and footer is empty, but we'll use it to inject some values into it. And we can inject them by creating a plugin for this endpoint, and creating a plugin for this endpoint. So what should we do now? Now I think we should go ahead and take a look on how can we create our own first module. And I think we'll go for the CMS module for now. So I'll create a CMS folder, and I'll need the package JSON here. Yep. And I don't need all of those dependencies. I need just, let's call this candy.pw CMS. And for the next pages, I think we'll take a look on, what's up, it's freezed?
It's freezing the time to time.
But the audio is fine?
It's still laggy, but I think it's manageable.
Okay. interesting from. Okay, I don't know if it will continue lag. Just let me know. Okay. So this the next thing we'd like to talk is this pages. So if we're going for CMS, if we're going to create any CMS like pages for Shopware, Shopware uses Shopware distinguishes pages by the URL key or by the URL. So we should create some listener or some page in Next.js that will get triggered every time you enter like any page, no, almost any page. So how to do it? Well, there is a thing called dynamic routing in Next.js, and it allows you to declare pretty much pages dynamically. And normally you create files with such names, but we believe we could do better, and we define those instead of creating those files in specific places, we just declare them in our Next.js pages field in Mosaic package JSON. And how can we declare the yeah, I think we should go with it like so. So we should create a dynamic route to catch all routes. So let's create it like so. It will say slug, I believe, so like or URL or better handle. So let's take all handles, and I think it should go like this, and it should be a server-side rendered page, just for now. And let's take a look what it does. So if what we also should do is we should go ahead and enable this extension in our theme. So we should add it as a dependency here. So I'm adding it as a dependency 0, 0, so the version of it. And here I need to add it as an extension, so I need to enable it. And now, if we run it, okay, it's not installed, so I need to go here, I need to install it.
Sound is stretch again.
Sound starts to stretch again, okay, let me, I just have to, I have no other option for now. I don't know why, maybe this computer is bad, maybe something else is bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I
Yes,
had
now
started.
it's
Now okay, good. So we have installed these dependencies. Now we can go back to our. What's up?
Sam? Serious, like we
Fringing
should
again.
figure something out.
Yeah, I think we might end the stream for today because with these problems, it's kind of impossible. And it also says 0 kilobytes per second.
We'll make some announcements about where we'll not where when will we stream the next time. It might be this evening if we get something figured out with the sound. Otherwise, it's probably gonna be tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think today was like a good day for testing because we thought we got our setup. It was working for me when I was like testing it out. But in real life scenario, when we came here together, it just doesn't work. And the sound problem, I was never experiencing it before, so I have no idea how we will resolve it.
We'll manage.
Okay,
We'll figure something out.
so I think we should end the stream, at least for now.
Yep.
We should add some analysis. I should add some like notes about this because otherwise it could be very confusing. Thank you guys for joining in. I hope tomorrow will be the better day. Otherwise, it's just
Thank you for being with us for this time,
Yeah.
and we very hope to see you tomorrow.
yeah. We're sorry. We're sorry.
We're very sorry.
Yeah. And
Yep.
yeah.